Hey, hey, long time no see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And I hope everybody had a fantastic 4th of July. I know I haven't been live since Friday. As you guys know, I went on a little vacation. Hey, Kiki. I went on a little vacation and I enjoyed it. I stayed away from YouTube. Now, I would have come on here and there, but the place where I was, the internet was horrible. So we were on like LTE, which is really hard to do YouTube. So I didn't even know what was going on until yesterday, somewhere around yesterday. So yeah, I'm kind of behind on everything, and there's a lot of stuff I don't know. So welcome back, everyone. Glad to see everyone here. Kiki, so happy to see you. And so much to talk about. If I lose subs after this live, I understand. If I gain subs after this live, I understand. Either way, it's all good. So let's get right into it. Let me say hi to everyone. What's up, members, Patreons, future members, future Patreons. Patreon is another thing I haven't even looked at in a couple of days, probably 2 weeks. So I'm slacking there. Welcome new members. I know I got a bunch of new members. So, okay. So what have I been doing all day? I'm filling a pool and I'm very excited about it. And we can't wait. Cuban, I'm going to get there. And so I have to check on it in a little while, but I got a big pool and we can't wait to go swimming. It's too hot. Way too hot. It's like 110 degrees today. It was crazy. I made Sage drive me around everywhere. So, all right, let's get into this. Hey, Texas. All right. So one thing I noticed is that this case has turned into a circus, and it is absolutely disgusting. And I don't care. Pool party at my house. I don't care who gets mad at me. I don't care who wants to unsub from me. I'm going to say what I have to say. And if people don't like it, I apologize. But it needs to be said. Because someone's got to call this shit out. Oh, I cursed. I told Tyler I was going to watch my cursing. Somebody's got to call this out, and I don't see it happening too much. So at the beginning, all right, first let me start. This case is about Dylan Rounds. That's what this is about. This is not about Jim the PI. This is not about Doug. This is not about Salty, who I adore. And I'm going to get into all that after, during this. This is not about Slim. I don't watch him. I didn't even know what happened. This is not about Candace, the mom. This is about Dylan. Straight up Dylan. Hey, Abby, with the pool, make sure you get a I know it came with a cover. I'm so excited. I went out and bought a skimmer today and floaty so I could go live at night. The pancake ice strain. Shacey, I'm going to get into all that. I'm going to totally get into all that. And let me just start by saying this. Since you brought it up, let me just start by saying this. I may not agree with a lot of his mentality, I guess you could say. But he's the only one that's been true boots on the ground there. So whether I agree with what he's got to say or I disagree with what he's got to say, the fact that he's boots on the ground and is actually talking to these people makes him a little step higher than any of us. Duty Ron just did a video about the reprehensible behavior of certain people. Sweet. I did not see that, but I will get to that. let me give my opinions first. So I'm away. And Friday before I left, I agree, Lily. There was a C&D given to, or allegedly given to, you guys are throwing me off, so I'm not going to look at chat. Otherwise, I'm getting totally thrown off by what I want to say, and I'm getting thrown out. So I'm not going to look at chat for a while. Just let me talk. Let me go back to Melon app so I don't constantly watch comments. All right. Here we are. So now I forgot where it was. All right. So Friday there was a C&D served to, or allegedly served to Jim, the PI. Now, let me also state, I didn't like have a problem with Jim. I thought he was funny. I thought he was entertaining. And that was how I felt about him. Like, I felt he was entertaining. I didn't see him as a PI. I saw him as an entertainer. And I never made that a secret. I've said that from day one. But I also thought that it was all an act. And I figured that it was all an act. And I figured that he really wasn't a male chauvinistic pig and that he was just playing a role. Okay. A lot of people do that. So I really didn't think much of it. And I knew from the beginning that I had to break this male circle of Doug, Tyler, and Jim. I was like, I'm going to get a female in there. These people need a female. Now, Tyler, I have always adored. That's not a secret. I have stated that back in the Petito days, and I state that now. I absolutely adore Tyler. That's Tyler Feller, by the way. So when I saw the three of them talking, I'm like, okay, Tyler's pretty good at reading people. Maybe it's just that he sees something in Jim that I don't. Okay. But I broke that, little male ego circle, and I jumped on panel with Tyler, and the four of us were talking, and like I went heads, knee deep into this case. And then I started, really researching and formulating my own opinions and what I thought. And here we are today. Okay. And all of a sudden, I see that Jim may not be acting. Oh, I love Tyler too. That Jim may not be acting. And this may not be a show. That he really may be this narcissistic, selfish, self-centered, egotistical narcissist. And it's not an act. Okay. So that's when I started calling him, because I'm a type of person, I need to speak to you to get a real feel for who you are. I can't get a real feel for you unless I speak to you. See, I don't think so, Chris, at all. So, you think that he really knows, or you think he thinks he knows? Big difference. And if you guys remember, I called Jim out from day one saying that you really didn't get any information. All you got was other people's hearsay. Like, you haven't been out there. You don't know. Menorah, I'm going to get to all that. So Jim gets this C&D. And I go live about it. And I want to thank the person that sent it to me. So all of a sudden, I don't hear from Jim about this C&D, okay? Because I'm just nothing. I'm just a female that none of them have respect for. None of them, and I wouldn't say none. Exclude Tyler and exclude Salty. But Jim and Doug, absolutely no respect for a female. Thank you, Busted Can of Biscuits. Have you seen the video Salty Po where he says if a woman claims she was essayed and doesn't report it till it never happened? No, I have not. I did not see that. Thank you, Modest Man. I heard there's a lot of hearsay. So let me back up for a second. So I didn't hear from him. I sent him a text, and I really then got, and this was Friday, then I really got the feeling that this was all fake and that I'm never going to earn the respect and that he really does look down on women. Like women are not like acceptable for him. Okay. So he goes on Doug's, and I have not gone live about this. I don't know how many other channels went live about this, like when I was, because it happened on Friday. Yes, it is Slim. So he goes on Doug's in this undercover outfit. He pretends that he's somebody else. I don't know if this was supposed to be funny, but I didn't find it funny at all. I found it absolutely vile. I found it unprofessional. I found it disgusting. I would never host something like that. I thought it was absolutely disgusting. There was nothing good about it. There was nothing funny about it. There was nothing entertaining about it. It was beyond vile. Now, what made it vile? I'll tell you what made it vile. I don't care. Now, all right, so let me back up. I don't want to go too fast. So then he goes on Jim's panel. I'm sorry, on Doug's panel, screaming, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." Hey, good vibes. Hold on. I meant to make you a mod because your other name were a mod and you're not a mod on here. And I meant to do that. I was thinking about that earlier. Hang on 1 second. Where are you, good vibes? Okay. And he goes, on Doug's and he screams that to the mom, Candace, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." Okay. No, Huck. I personally thought, wow, just wow. Wow. Then I get a call. I still hadn't heard from him. I get a call about 1:30 in the morning. He's acting like nothing's wrong. He's acting like, there's no problem. And I'm giving him an attitude the whole time, just totally giving him an attitude. And all of a sudden, he goes to hang up because I guess I'm not doing what he wants me to do, or I'm not acting the way he wants me to act, or I'm not kissing his ass the way most people kiss his ass. I don't know. But he's like, "Oh, I got to go." I said, "No, no, no. You're going to wait a second." He said, "What?" I said, "You are going to get some fucking integrity." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "You have zero integrity. You know nothing about YouTube. You made me and Tyler look like idiots when you go on Doug's and you're like, oh, well, this is the only channel you should listen to." I said, "Jim, subs don't know that you're joking. Subs do not know that you're not being serious." He's like, "I would have said that on anyone's channel." Loose gun, thank you. He's like, he goes, "I would have said that on anyone's channel." But subs don't know that. And no, you haven't said it on Tyler's and you haven't said it on mine. So, no. He started a channel with Doug. More power to him. Go and make millions of dollars. I really could care less. But, Jim, this is a case. This is a disappearance case. The mother of this child who is missing, maybe murdered, maybe held hostage somewhere, maybe kidnapped, maybe alive. We have no idea. But if the mother of a missing child asks you to move on, why aren't you moving on? I understand the cease and desist was bullshit. I get it. He told me all about it. But if the mother of a missing child just asks you to get off the case, why can't you just get off the case? Why? Why? Move on. There's a million missing people. Millions of missing people out there. Tons of missing kids. There's 100,000 Dylan Rounds out there. Why don't you cover one of them? Why don't you cover another case? I can tell you another kid that's early 20s that's missing. His mom would love somebody to help. Do you want their name? I can give you their name. I can't. No, it's not, Christine. I can't fathom why you wouldn't just move on. So the only reason that I can think that he wouldn't move on is money. Now, mind you, Jim did say at the beginning that he was paid in full for this case. Now, in full means that he was going to, but he's not a pro ball player. That's the other half of this, but let me get to that. When he was on Doug's and he had said when he started out, like, when I started this case, I really thought, okay, he's going to do the right thing. He's talking intelligently, and then that all went to shit when he just said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. So we're gonna get, who bashed you? I didn't bash you, Salty. I actually just stuck up for you. So he's failed many. Kyle, did you read the title? Let's read the title. I'll read it for you since you are not comprehending. Update. The circus surrounding the Dylan Rounds disappearance. Let me start again. The circus surrounding. So what does that tell you, Kyle? Let's go back to first grade. That means that I am discussing the circus surrounding the Dylan Rounds disappearance, not Dylan Rounds case. Am I clear? Should I talk slower for you, Kyle? Maybe you just didn't catch that, but read the title. And as a matter of fact, you can also read the description, and that will show you there as well. I'm sorry you're not smart enough to be here, Kyle. It's time for you to go. Bye-bye. Oh, I don't believe that, Luke, at all. That is such a lie. If that's true, I want to see proof, because that is a blatant lie, like everything else the man says. Okay? So, okay. Cheryl Ann, you can leave too. It's okay. I won't hold you to it. So let me get back to this. I agree. Leave Tyler alone. Let me get back to this. So if Jim is told, yeah, he didn't make 50 grand. If Jim was told information, Jim ran. Thank you, Deb. Thank you for all you and your mods do. Bring a voice to the voiceless. Thank you. If Jim truly cared about Dylan and the case, he would have walked away. He absolutely would have walked away. But he can't do that. He can't walk away for whatever reason, I don't know. But don't tell me you care about a case when the parents are asking you to walk away. Now, in all fairness, Jim could be right about the things he said. Jim could be wrong about the things he said. Everything he said is hearsay. Everything. I have not seen any proof of anything he has said. Nothing. I have not seen proof of anything. All I hear is a bunch of, I'll show this, I'll show that, I'll show this. He shows nothing. Nothing. I'll get you this person. I'm going to get this person. He gets nobody. He's gotten nobody. I'm not one of these people that, like, I'm going to kiss your ass for numbers. That's not going to happen. I'm not one of these people that's going to kiss his ass like someone else does for money and then sit there and tell my subs and lie to my subs how, oh, I don't do this for money, but yet all I talk about is money and how you should give me money and all this other shit. No, there's nothing wrong with saying, yes, I do this for money. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't lie to subs. I pay my bills using YouTube money. I admit that. That's not a secret. I work hard for that money. I don't expect to be just handed to me. I work hard for it. And I research and I do lots of things and I put up with a lot of bullshit and everything else. That is what I do. So if people support that, awesome. If people don't support that, awesome. That's fine too. I read all comments. I don't only highlight super chat. Well, now I am, but I don't always highlight super chats. I highlight lots of comments and I answer lots of comments and I, talk with subs. And I'm one of the few creators that do. But one thing I will not do is lie to my subs. And I'm so sick and tired of people lying to people. It drives me nuts. And my haters can just shut up because I know that they run their mouth. But I can't deal with people that blatantly are lying because yes, you do this for money or you wouldn't have Cash App running. You wouldn't have Super Chat running. You wouldn't have all this shit running if you didn't do this for money. Going back to Jim was told, Jim told us that he got paid in full. That means until the case is over. So why are you e-begging? The e-begging I have seen from Jim turns my stomach. I had no problem. And I told him this, that everything, let me just state this. Every single thing that I am saying, I said to Jim on the phone Friday night. So don't think, nobody can say I'm talking behind his back or I'm saying, I told him all this. I said, your e-begging is disgusting. Your hookups are disgusting. What you did today, this was Friday, was vile. This isn't funny. It's just not funny. And I said, you're going to hurt yourself in the long run because nobody is going to hire somebody that acts like you do. So take it for what it's worth. Do what you want to do. And it is what it is. Because I don't know if he's racist or white privilege or anything, but I do know he's a male chauvinistic pig. He's proven that over and over and over and over and over. Sorry, but he has. And I've tested him on numerous occasions, and he's failed every single time. So yes, he is a male chauvinistic pig. Crime with Jet. I am trying desperately to get an interview with Kurt, like desperately. Hey, Monica, there's somebody that has to hook it up. We won't say who. I'm choking. But he happens to be in the chat. So, Slim, I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't. I truly don't. So why would he need it to go to other cases if he gets paid from the family? Unless he wants to just be a YouTuber. If he just wants to be a YouTuber, that's one thing. Then be a YouTuber. But hey, Addie, but have your own channel, and that's it. I can't watch what I've been watching. No, David, boots on the ground was salty. That's who his boots on the ground was. Okay? Let's call this out. Don't believe the BS that you're being fed, because what you're being fed is complete BS. His person on the ground was salty. And because Salty didn't agree with what Jim's narrative was and went against it, all of a sudden he hates Salty. All of a sudden they're bashing Salty. The 20 minutes that I heard last night was vile. Why are you turning on your boots on the ground? Why are you turning on somebody that you brought to me? You brought to Tyler. I don't know about Doug, but you brought him to us and said, this guy is great. This guy was this guy was that. This guy was doing all the stuff, blah, blah, blah. David, I know I've had many conversations with Salty. I know exactly who Salty is and what he's about. And maybe he was, Chris. I don't know. I personally will never go with what somebody else said, per se. I want to interview these people myself, and I can only get a real feel for somebody if I do it myself. So, yeah, he doesn't need them anymore. Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't need them anymore. Thing more about Salty was saying how he was scared out of town and in fear of the people, only to then post a video all buddy-buddy with Kurt. But Emily, did he elaborate on anything? Kurt isn't the only one in the town. So, I don't know. Maybe there's more to it. Jim is a pathological liar, is an egomaniac, and like Psych Guy said, with inadequacy issues. I agree with that. Astastic, I don't totally disagree with that. And I told Salty that. I don't agree with his opinions on these people, but I haven't spoken to them. So I don't know if I, trust it or not. You know what I mean? Like, I told Salty last night, I don't trust Kurt, but I can't get a true feel off him until I speak to him. Until I speak to him personally, then I can get a feel off him. But I can't get a feel off him from somebody else's interview, no matter what. I just can't. So I'm not mad at Jim. Let me put this out there. I'm not mad at Jim. I'm done with Jim. There's a difference, big difference. I do not like a case turning into a circus. I do not like being at the heels of somebody else's interview. Like, I have to do my own interviews. I have to talk to these people. I have to make a judgment call because I don't agree with what Salty's saying. But I haven't spoken to these people, so I can't say for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. He knows more than he is telling. Who? Who does? Kurt? I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Hey, Captain. How will you ever know who you're speaking to? Good point. But we know Kurt's voice already. So he's been, we have him on Justice interviews, so we kind of know. But again, I won't know until I personally speak to him. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to speak to him online. Thank you, Salty. It doesn't mean that I have to speak to him on a live. Like, hey, Jenny, I can totally speak to him privately. I don't have a problem speaking to him privately. I just want to speak to him. Like, I need to speak to him to get a feel of if he's BSing or not. So, yeah, Amber, I have no choice. I can't deal with the, like, even if you watch some of these channels that he goes on, it's the same regurgitated stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. He's not coming out with anything new. And let me tell you what also pissed me off yesterday. Chunky white women hurt some viewers in their chat. What? Let me tell you what else threw me off yesterday. And I was kind of taken back by this. I really was taken back by this. When, oh my God, now I forgot. I can't look at chat. I totally forgot. I just totally lost my train of thought. Well, Heather, let me say, when Jim told me, which was a lie, but I don't care, that Jim wanted to do a PayPal, I had no problem doing a PayPal, for Jim or promoting a PayPal. He's on my panel. I have no problem with that. No problem. I have no problem, promoting someone's PayPal. That's not my issue. My issue is the constant e-begging, the nonstop, give me money, give me money, give me money on a case that he already got paid in full. None of us got paid in full to work on a case. Don't forget that. That's the big difference. So, when Jim made the comment, chunky white women a couple times in their stream, some people in chat got upset. Oh, I didn't know he made that comment. And you know what, Chris? They can have him. I don't want him. That's why I said, anyone that only subbed to me to see Jim, you probably want to unsub from me, and I'm okay with it. And he did bring views, but I don't care about views as much as I do the integrity of my channel, not losing my channel due to his BS. And I don't like the way he handles himself. I just don't. And if that makes me a horrible person, so be it. And like I said, I'm not stopping covering this case. I will gladly still work with Tyler. And Kim, I don't want to forget Kim. She hosts Tyler's channel on Sunday night. She's been a member of mine since the Petito days, and I adore her too. So, and I met her husband last night, so we love him too. But I'm not going to allow someone who's going to ruin the channel or make a mockery of the case or, just constantly e-bag off people. Let him go to Doug. Let him have Doug. Doug, they fit in perfectly. Yeah, Tuesdays with Kim. They fit in perfectly together. So I just can't do it anymore. Nobody liked the way he talked to me. And people can go watch him in other places. No problem. We were on one night, and that's 100% right. But it's not worth, Chris, that's not what I said at all whatsoever. Let me try this one more time, Chris Appel. Okay. What I said was, again, if you are only here because to see Jim, then you might want to unsub because Jim will no longer be on my channel. That is what I said. That is not disagreeing. That is not saying that you have to leave. So let me try this one more time. If you sub to my channel only to see Jim, okay, again, only to see Jim, then you might want to unsubscribe because I will not have Jim on my channel again. Is that clear? Did that make more sense? See, but that's the thing, David. I don't care about the subs. I would rather have a channel for integrity. I would rather keep my channel about realness, not about some BS. I'm sorry. Willow, do some research. You'll find out that's a big fade too. That's a big fucking smoke and mirrors too. I did some research on that. Yeah. Okay. I've given you guys a chance. Unless, here's a good one. I'm going to give this one. All these backhanded comments, you can go. And if you don't go, I'll give you the go. And then you don't have to worry about it. Okay? When I watch Doug, it seems like he doesn't. He's all about drama. But Crazy Mama of 3, like, I know Abby adores Doug, and that's cool. She has to absolutely, like, if she wants to adore Doug, that's her prerogative. I will not hold it against her. I will not, talk bad about Doug. This is more about Jim and the whole situation. But I am not one of these people. Doug is not blocked in here, although I'm blocked on his channel. My subscribers are blocked on his channel. But for all the women out there, yeah, he's a male chauvinistic pig, and I will not put up with it. Just saying. I just won't. It's exactly right, misunderstood. And I will, and I always have. And 420 growers, I absolutely agree with you, but there are people that really like Doug in here, and I'm not going to bash them. I'm not going to, bash Doug. But I don't need one thing people have about my channel. It's consistent. It is very, very consistent. David, let me explain something to you though. I'm not here to fight Jim. I'm not here to disprove Jim. This case is not about Jim. This case is about Dylan. So I don't know why people want to make it about Jim. Stop making it about Jim, because it's not about Jim. It is about Dylan. So I don't care what Jim's opinion is on it. He's got no proof. Show me some proof. All I hear is smoke and mirrors. That's all I hear. I hear a bunch of BS and nothing, no proof. Whoops, and no proof. And I've watched him for 2 weeks now. Show me proof. Show me the proof of everything, all this hearsay that you're talking about. There is no proof. Sometimes I may come across like I'm some dumb blonde, or that I don't know what I'm talking about, or that I am Emily, he's so clueless that I'm not even going to go there, nor do I care. It just goes to show his insecurity and his whatever he's not right about, and how he's so wrong, and I can't with ignorance. So I've told the story 100,000 times, and sorry if people haven't heard the right story by now, I don't know what to tell you. And I'll tell you something else, and I mean this wholeheartedly. Thank you, Luke. There were certain things that Jim asked me about, because of course Doug was running his mouth, about me and blah, blah. I haven't run my mouth about Doug. I know Doug. I know Doug from Summer Wells, and I could bring AB on panel and have a field day with Doug, but I don't do that. I just don't. But Emily, that's because because he's such the e-beggar, he can't handle being honest. He doesn't know the word. I mean, look at his numbers before Jim came along. He was barely breaking 500 a video, literally. Like, go look at his numbers. He needed something, and there comes Doug. And I agree, they're perfect for each other. But when Jim moves on and fades out, because we know Jim will fade out, Doug's going to be nowhere. Doug doesn't even do research. I think that girl he sits next to does his research, and Jim. That's why they do call-ins, because there's no information. So they just do call-ins. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you, Twin Thing. Most Summer Wells channels don't care about truth or help in the case. They all grow their channels online. And I won't do that. it would be very, very easy for me to do that. It would be very easy for me to put this aside, have Jim on, act like nothing's wrong, rack in the money, rack in the views, have 2,000, 1,000, 2,000 people in. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it. And if that means that I'm only going to have 3, 4, 500 people, okay, I'll live with that. Because when it comes right down to it, we will work on the Dylan Rounds case. We're not going to worry about PayPal's. We're not going to worry about, being shut down. We're going to work on the Dylan Rounds case. And that's what I went to say before, and I forgot. So Kim Brooks, who is a mod for Tyler, has been working very, very, very hard on this Dylan Rounds. I was going to say Summer Rounds, on this Dylan Rounds case. I mean, really, really, really hard. And Salty, I hope I can say this. Salty had given me some information back last week on the land. And I had then, because I was going away, I had then sent it all to Tyler. And me and Tyler are like kind of working this together. So because I was going to be away. And Salty did me the favor of not running to a guy and sticking with me. And I had given everything to Tyler, and Kim did some research on it. And Kim had opened up this can of worms that Salty had hinted to me to open up this can of worms. And once you open up this can of worms, you find out that, whoa, this is even bigger than we thought. This is even bigger than what we thought was even possible. Okay. So Kim talked about it last night, and Jim totally put it aside. Now, Kim did her own research. I'm not saying that you have to believe Salty, but Salty was right. Look into this. You guys look into this, find out X, Y, and Z. So we found X, Y, and Z, or Kim found X, Y, and Z. I haven't been around. And Jim blew it off like it was nothing. And it was big. It's very, very big, very big. And it was about who owns the land and how much land. And I had said originally about water rights. And I had said that water rights are very important out there. And Whistledown, I was going to give you credit in a second. Whistledown is the one that told me about the water rights, that you may want to, hey, Nan, you may want to look into more water rights because it's worth a lot of money. I have no problem telling people where my, sources came from if I haven't looked stuff up and, or research. Like, we all have research teams. And I couldn't believe that Jim felt it wasn't important. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And I was just blown away. With Janice, I said that last week. I had said originally the water rights are big. And everyone blew it off like it meant nothing. Everyone blew it off like, who cares about the water rights? And I kept saying, oh, it was also Lindsay. And I kept saying the water rights are big. That your land goes up by a lot of money from these water rights. His mom already said there were water rights. And then I heard Kim talk about it last night, and I was like, woohoo. So I didn't watch the whole stream last night because I was still unwinding, and I went on somebody's panel early yesterday afternoon, Queen Bee, and I just still don't have my head. It is huge. That's what I'm saying. I said that last week. The water rights are huge. And that his mom stated he had water rights. Well, if he had water rights, then we're missing something. And it has to do with money and everything else. And I stated that last week, and it was blown off. It was blown off by everybody. Why do we have to see the Wadsworth more places than the bar? I don't know what you mean. Jim definitely doesn't have all the answers. Oh, Jim is hearsay. And I called him out on that as well. He talked to people, and And people came to him with information and he went live about it. That's it. That's all he does. That's all he does. He is not. Yeah, I don't. Salty, can you respond to that? Because I keep seeing it. Absolutely, NorCal. Jim said it was money from the get-go. Okay, but all right, listen to me. Let me say this again. Maybe I didn't say it clear. Maybe I didn't say it the right way. So I'm going to say it the right way. All right. This isn't about Jim being right or wrong. I don't know if Jim is right or wrong. None of us know if Jim is right or wrong. Okay. We have no idea if Jim is right or wrong. But what I do know, what I absolutely do know, is that I don't care for him as a person. I don't like what he's turned this case into. You want to be entertaining, that's fine. Be as entertaining as you like, but don't do it on the back of Dylan Rounds. I can speak for Tyler and Kim Brooks when I say this. Tyler, Kim, work very hard on our channel. We work very hard on what we, research. And I know Kim does a lot of research. And I don't know if Kim does Tyler's research. I don't know. I never spoke to Tyler about it. But I do know Kim does a lot of research for Tyler and the channel and her own night. And you're just not going to let that get pissed away because someone wants to be entertaining. You can be entertaining. Just don't do it on Dylan Round's back. And he could be entertaining all he wants on Doug's channel. I won't have him on mine. I just won't. Thank you, Truth Bomb. I totally agree with that. Well, I'm glad Jim brought attention to the case. He's taken his edginess too far. Now he's discredited himself and made himself look radioactive. I totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, David, now you're just annoying me, so it's time for you to go. And at the same time, I don't want to group them together because Doug is just a YouTuber. But no, I haven't gotten struck. Doug is just a YouTuber. Thank you, Just a Mom. How are your candles, by the way? Did you get them yet? Because the last time I looked, you hadn't even gotten them yet. I'm like, damn, that's taken a long time. Oh my God. Did my ex-bestie just give me a compliment? My ex-bestie just gave me a compliment. I got to highlight that. She gets highlighted. I thank you, ex-bestie. And thank you, Just a Mom. Willow, but the point is, Doug didn't have any kind of reputation to lose per se. He, if he ran himself into the ground, that's on him. It's his YouTube channel. YouTubers, you go up, you come down, you go up, you come down. I get it. But Jim had a reputation. He's defending himself. Okay. A Viking dragon braid would look amazing because you have long. My hair's not that long. Hey, Kim and Honey Bear, let me say, you can support Jim all day long. I don't know how many times I could say this. Abby supports Doug. She can support Doug all day long. Jenny Hanson, my mod, supports all of them. And she's allowed to support all of them. I don't tell people, like, I'm not Doug. I'm not blocking people because, they go over to Doug's, or Doug's blocked most of my people, which is fucked up. And I don't get it. But hey, go right ahead. Be my guest. You want to block us? That's your problem. I'm not going to block your people. I would never block your people. I have mod that loves all of you. This isn't about liking Jim or not liking Jim. You guys can all love Jim all day long.
Love Doug all day long. I just won't have Jim on my channel. That's all I'm saying. I'm done with him. I think he is just not somebody that I choose to associate with. He's a liar. He's a liar and he's a liar. And I caught him in one too many lies. Do some research. Yesterday I did some research. And I did some research on his football career and the things he says. You guys might want to do some research before you know, believe what he says. And it is what it is. So carry on. And I agree. It's all about Dylan. Let's make it about Dylan. It's not quite as bad as Summer, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Check out exactly, Daffodil. I agree with that. I was very surprised at what I was reading last night. Very surprised. And I usually don't look people up like that, but that's when I made the decision. Like, I'm not going to bash him. And I know people say that, well, he's defending himself. Yeah, but that's the mother. You don't think that he's done a worse job defending himself? He's done a hideous job defending himself. Hideous. Hideous. He's done a horrible job of defending himself. He's made himself look 10 times worse by acting the way he's acting and e-begging. And, the parents, this is a mother of a missing child. This is not, I already said what they lied about. I've already stated it more than once. I said multiple times what he lied about. Something as stupid. Like when he told me that he wanted to do a PayPal, the 200,000 people, a creator with 200,000 people told him he needs to have a PayPal. And I said, I don't have a problem with that. I'll tell everybody. I go, just know you're going to get shit for it. He's like, oh, what am I going to get shit for? And blah, blah, blah. And he tells me that he is that, he couldn't believe this call that he got in, but it was all bullshit. Doug fucking turned around hours later and said he's the one that told Jim to get a PayPal. If you lie about something so meaningless, all he had to do was tell me, Doug told me a PayPal would be a good idea. All you had to do was just tell me the truth. Why would you have to lie about it? Why would you have to lie and make up some big elaborate story when all you had to do was tell me the truth? That's it. It was that simple. And then I caught him in other little lies like that. And then I did some research. So all I'm saying is just do your research. And let me also say, I'm not talking do your research from Joe Schmo made a video. I don't mean that kind of research. I'm saying do some real research online. You'll see the truth. That's all I'm saying. Him and Doug were absolutely disgusting what they were saying about Salty last night. Disgusting. I was so mortified. I was so disgusted at what I was hearing. I couldn't even comprehend. I was like, why? Why? Why are you bashing Salty? If you don't agree with Salty, then just move on from him. Just move on. Plain and simple. You don't need to bash somebody because, somebody said it this morning. I don't remember who it was, but they're 100% right. If someone is bashing, if you're being entertained by somebody bashing somebody else, don't think they're not going to bash you when it's your turn. People forget that. Stop being entertained by someone bashing somebody, even drama, because when that person turns on you, you're going to get burned and they're going to do the exact same thing. Just keep that in mind. So the claims he found out in 2 days. Chris, I don't agree with him. And I told him that I don't agree with him. Okay, Heather, it was very nice meeting you. Have a wonderful day and you take care. I don't see him. I don't even see him. He shows you where you might be under his bus because he isn't going to admit his wrongs, take responsibility. It's exactly right. A lot of people aren't. Bye, Slim. Have a good day. YouTube moderator, I gave him a chance until I learned what a male chauvinistic fucking piggy was. And I'm not having it. I'm not going to be disrespected on my own channel. Plain and simple. It's just not going to happen. And bashing somebody that was boots on the ground to help you, I'm not having it. I'm just not having it. Sorry. Oh, that's why I meant to highlight that. And Kat, you are doing absolutely nothing in my chat. So bye-bye. You guys might have gotten rid of her already, but if you didn't, can you get rid of chat? Kat, I don't see her. I make minty candles. I can make eucalyptus and spearmint. I can make that's eucalyptus, spearmint, peppermint. And I make sage ones as well. Exactly, Karmic. Hey, Grandma Rose. I thought it was disgusting too. Because if you don't agree with something, then speak to them personally. Just speak to them personally. Kyle, maybe there's a reason for it. Do you know everything about it? Did it ever occur to you that Salty was playing him? Did it ever occur to you that sometimes you get further with honey than you do with, salt or vinegar? Did that ever occur to you? Or you just want to jump on Jim's bandwagon? Just saying. Because let's not think this through. Let's just automatically assume that Salty believes the shit that he said. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it is all a big front. Maybe it's all a facade. Maybe that's his way of getting Kurt to us. Maybe that's his way of getting, me to interview Kurt. We have no idea. But you're just assuming. You're just totally assuming that it has to do with that he must have, fell in love with him. He must have adored him. I don't need to go live and tell Salt, hey, I disagree with you. I tell him privately. I don't totally agree with that. How does he know this? How does he know that? But I don't bash him on a live. Like, for real, though. I don't know if Kurt's guilty. I haven't spoke to him yet. But all kidding aside, though, everybody's assuming that what you saw with Salt was just, him being in love with Kurt or loving Kurt. We have no idea. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was all one big facade. Honestly, it can go either way. I agree. People should not assume. I am trying desperately to get an interview with Kurt and ask him the real questions. And then I will be able to report if I believe him or not. As of right now, I don't believe him. I think he knows way too much. Way too much. Way too much. And that makes me not trust him. And that makes me not like him. But I can't give a true opinion without speaking to him myself. And Salty knows this. Yes, I would, YouTube moderator. I would absolutely love that interview. I've been trying. I personally would like to speak to all of them. And it doesn't even have to be on a live. I could do it on the phone. You know what I mean? But yes, YouTube moderator, that would be wonderful. Who is a comedian? Please do. That would be awesome. In this case, it gets confusing. Yeah, that would really be awesome, YouTube moderator. Of course, Kurt seemed nice. And the more nice he is, the more guilty I think he is. I mean, that's really how I feel. I honestly believe that the more open he is, the more honest he is, the less I trust him. But that's just me. And not everyone has to think like me, but that's how I see it. Oh, absolutely, Abby. Someone wants FBI is 3 in custody right now. Yeah, and this whole with the Jim Brennan, you know, there's some sketchy stuff there as well. I agree, Wendy. And that's exactly right. Kerr was working for Dylan, allegedly, but Dylan was also working for other people. It's like a big spin. Is Doe for real? I mean, Doug. He's from a family village and just stirs a pot. What's wrong with being a nice person? Oh, nothing. I'm just saying that the nicer he is, the more phony I think he is. You know, like he knows every detail about Dylan's life, like every detail. Like you would think that he was Dylan the way I'm hearing stories. You would think he was Dylan, and I'm just not having it. Like I don't believe this. Nobody's going to know this much about somebody else's life. It's just not going to happen. Nobody. Now, could it be that was wearing Dylan's hat after he went missing, verified by his mom? Okay, Chris, where did you verify this? See, I love people that throw comments like this, but show me where the mom said this and where this was verified. That's what I want to see. You can't drop a bomb like that without proof. So show me where you saw that. Show me where this was verified by the mom, because I'm not Doug. I'm not running with something. You're not going to drop a bomb like that and tell me, well, I don't have to show you proof or where there's proof. Show me where the mom verified this. And don't tell me someone told you or Jim said it. I want to see where you found out the mom verified this. That's what I want to see. Because again, I'm not Jim. I'm not Doug. I'm not going to run with something just because. Well, that's what I'm thinking too, Daffy. But he wouldn't know if the mom verified it. So I'm just curious, where was this verified? I will post a copy. Where are you posting a copy? Yeah, I don't know anything about the fat shaming. I wasn't there. Where are you posting it? Texas Girl is awesome. No one was there at the present second when Dylan left. No one knows if the hat was on. It could, thank you. Thank you. No one was there at the present second Dylan left. No one knows if the hat was on it. He could have been on and a suspect took it, but that's not after he was missing. Nice does not mean honest. Very true. Sometimes nice means dishonest. No, that's a different Doug, Linda. Linda, totally different Doug. Totally different Doug. The Doug that was attacked in the hospital, that is Doug from Northport. That's not no thanks. Doug from Northport is totally separate. He's not on this case. He hasn't touched this case, nothing. Okay. The official find out is that Facebook page. He was fat shaming all the women creators that don't like him. He kept using the C word again, too. It continues to get more and more disgusting. That's why I won't have mom. And I'm not fat, but I will not have mom. It's wrong. And Doug doesn't seem to care. And that's why I don't respect either one of them. That's not entertainment to me. Okay, Chris. Nope. You just ruled that out. Now you just made it invalid. The main admin said she talked to Candace and verified it. No, that's not verified. That's somebody trying to grow a channel. That's somebody trying to grow their Facebook numbers. That's not verified. Absolutely not verified. Don't believe everything Facebook tells you because most of it's bullshit. Fact. The man who owns the grain shed where Dylan parks his grain truck supposedly only gave one gate key to Jim Brenner. So Dylan not having a key for himself was strange. He was wearing the glasses and hat. Okay. You need a clipper for saying it. Yes. Doug's, they look nothing alike, Linda. They are like night and day. And honestly, I don't even know what the other Doug looks like. Does anyone know oh, thank you, Jenny. Does anyone know what Doug from Northport looks like? I've never seen him. He's never been on camera. But no, I promise you it's two different people. Oh, you have Butch? You see what he looks like? I have never seen him. Dylan's huge check came from Dan. Did you guys know that? Yeah, it's two totally different people. They don't look alike. Salty, can I don't want to say. Can I say what you told me last night about the check? It is funny when you call people fat. I called people fat when I was fat. I'm not fat anymore. You don't see me calling people fat. Oh, you have seen? I've never seen his picture. Does he look like he sounds? Why just give it to his own kid instead? It was given to Brenner. Supposedly the people in Montello wanted JB. Kurt knows exactly, Greg. Way too much. Way too much. No, I'm referring to, Suzanne. He claimed that Dylan had given him the hat when asked about it. Mom told me that it was a special hat to him, that he would never given it away. Okay, but we don't know if that's true either. Who gave Jim Brenner the key? You call people fat, but it's funny. Who do I call fat? I'll wait. Guess that Kirk got his money from owning slot machines, but I could be wrong. Seen Doug of Northport on. Yeah, I didn't think they look anything alike. Kirk gets his money from meth. I don't care what anyone says. Hey, Susan. Doug from Northport look. Yeah, they don't look alike. But does he look like what I think? I think he's got like dark hair, like mullet, kind of heavy. I don't know. That's what I picture when I hear him. Why doesn't Kurt Wadsworth have a tam? Someone that's been out searching in a desert. Craig, that's a pretty good point. I like that. Why doesn't he have a tan? Why is he so white if he's been out searching? It's a good point. Laura calls me far all the time. No, I don't. Molly said he was good looking. Who? Oh, does he? Is he? Well, she's been invited not to go on social media because of gym drama. I don't know he gets money from meth. That's what I think is going on out there. And until I'm shown proof otherwise, I'm sticking with that. Hold on, I got to check the pool water. Hang on. Whoop. We're getting there. We're almost done. Almost ready for the pool. It's not outrageously blown out of proportion. It's not. That is the number one meth. Oh no, I bought a big pool, Quinny. That is the number one city, state, whatever for meth. It's not overblown. I was the one who told Doug that the bar could be a front. I absolutely think it's a front for meth. Was that your bot check? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Sure can, Kyle. Takes a 5-second research. You need the documents? I'll show you. Hold on. Hey, Miss Lee. I couldn't think of the name for a second. Hold on. 23 hours ago, a Montalvo man accused of eluding police in a car with meth and stolen property in December was arrested Sunday. Montalvo arrested woman on meth and gun charges. Montalvo woman arrested on meth charges. Man arrested for meth XC possession, channel 3000. Montalvo woman arrested on meth and gun charges. Reno man sentenced to a total of over 16 years in prison. Crystal meth. Real quick research. Explain to him how Dylan received that check. Okay, so Dylan got a check from his grandparents to buy the materials to help somebody else, like farm on their land. Then he got paid for it, and then that money came back and he gave it to his grandmother. It's that simple. There was no big conspiracy. That is, he borrowed money from his grandfather to work on whatever, and then he gave the money back. Allegedly. And I say allegedly because maybe he bought it for meth. I have no idea. I don't know what he needed the check for. According to Kurt, he needed the check to buy materials or whatever, and then the check came right back. I don't know if I believe that. That's just me, though. Dylan was 17. Oh, that was the other thing. Hold on. Just remember what I said from the beginning. Occam's razor. This is going to be Occam's razor. Again, Aaron, so go watch Jim. I have no desire to talk to Jim. So go, if you don't need to announce it. This is not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Bye. Have a good day. Oh, I think meth has a lot to do with Dylan. A lot. I'm not saying that he was involved. I'm not saying that he was this big meth dealer, because I don't know. I just don't know. But nobody is calling out Kurt and all of them on the meth. Nobody. I will. Plain and simple. Hanging out with no meth dealers. I mean, remember, one of the Wadsworth, let's not forget, one of the Wadsworth had given, I mean, it held these women captive. There's proof of this. That's pretty serious. Nobody does that. What if we already know there's meth. We've heard it. We heard it from Ellenberg. We heard it from Dillenberg. We heard it from bar owners. We know there is. Is Montello a big meth city? The meth head capital of Nevada. Oh, wait, that was Silver Springs. Okay, hold on. The vast majority of meth America consumes isn't made in home meth labs anymore. They're going to put it blah, 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 blah. Elko County. Large quantity of meth found in a diaper box. That's nice. Crime meth on the rise, Elko County. Yeah, meth is very, very big out there. Montallo is highly known for being huge in meth. Thank you. Because they're not selling it for mass production. They're selling it to do it. Happens every day. What's hearsay? Do some research. These are statistics. These are facts. Whether they're involved or not, that I don't know. Steven, then go watch him. You guys, you show who you are with these stupid fucking comments. I'm glad you like him, and I'm glad you think he's wonderful. Then why are you over here? Go over there since he's so wonderful. Bye. Kyle, do some research. I've already shown it 1,000 times. I did a live where I showed all this proof the other day. And not the other day, on Friday, I believe. Well, Kurt told somebody about the check. Kevin, I agree with you. Totally agree with you. Organized crime, organized drug crime. I never said the meth capital of the world. At no point did I ever say the meth capital of the world. Ever. Not what I said, not even close. Definitely not the meth capital of the world. By far. This is not what I said. That's not true. What? It is high in meth, addiction, production of it. Thank you. In the area, city and state in that area. You want to see that statistic? I showed this the other day. Is Elko County. um Leaving track marks, meth continues its deadly course. Meth heroin seizures jump in Elko according to 2021 crime. Oh. It won't let me see it. Kyle, I'm not angry. I'm tired of answering the same shit over and over and over. I've already discussed this. Be thankful that I'm one of the people that allows people to speak without giving me a super chat. But people like you, it's now changed. Most people won't even answer you without a super chat, but I have, only to get aggravated. So now I'm not doing it anymore. The state is the whole entire place. Maybe you didn't mean... No, Elko County. I didn't mean state. I meant Elko County. Number one in its state. Elko County is number one in its state, is what I said. It is known for meth. It 100% is known for meth. All right, Stephen, but yet you're here. So bye-bye. You're probably Doug because this is what Doug does. Bye-bye. Now you don't have to worry about it, Stephen. Have a good day. Where what? Where is this posted? Go look at my video from the other day, the meth video. You'll see it. It's all on there. Dylan needed a huge loan for material to start Dan's contract. That's where the check came from. Allegedly. Allegedly. This is where it came from Kurt, but this is where I get sketchy with Kurt. I don't believe that Kurt would know all this information. Truth Serum, I want to thank you for the comment you left about Dayton. I really appreciate that, and I am so sorry about your mom. My city is high on heroin. It's the dope capital of my state. Thank you. Anyone with a brain knows what I was saying. So thank you, little Miss Lee. Or watch your kid? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Or watch your kid? Fentanyl is big everywhere. I don't even understand the rise in fentanyl. I really don't. And I agree with that, Todd. Nobody gives their favorite hat to an old man that is not a friend. I agree with that. But why all of a sudden? Why all of a sudden would he kill Dylan? YouTube moderator, I'm saying you city and state, Elko County, Nevada is huge for meth. It is the highest in Nevada. Montello is in Elko County. Funny how people are wrapped up with the meth thought because Yeah, it's horrible. They're putting fentanyl in everything. That's why you can't do drugs. You end up dead. Dylan signed a contract to do farm work for Dan Gamble Ranch, and he paid $32,046 an acre. He needed money to buy materials, but we don't. There's no proof. Where's the contract? Kurt didn't show a contract. This is what I was trying to say. How does he know all this? Where's the signed contract? We don't know. It's all hearsay. It's complete hearsay. We just don't know. I agree, Todd. But again, we don't know that. That's not coming. This is what I was trying to say to you last night. That's not coming from his grandfather. That's coming from Kurt. We don't know if it's true. Why would Kurt know all this personal information? He might not. But Kurt is like hearing it from Jim. We just don't know. I know you two, moderator. We just don't know. That is true. Not everyone knows Laura-isms. I give you that. To the person that's hold on. Anyone can say whatever. Exactly. I see no receipts. I've seen no receipts from anywhere. Do you know who I have seen receipts from? I'll tell you who I've seen receipts from. I've seen receipts from Kim Brooks on Tyler's channel. I've seen receipts from Whistledown and Lindsay. That's who I've seen receipts from. I haven't seen receipts from anyone else. Like actual physical receipts. Cheryl Ann allegedly. We don't know. Yeah, you can, Salty. We don't know. Just got timed out. Telling creative PI's lying. Got timed out. There's a link, Salt. I get my drugs from my doctor. Me too. And there's no fentanyl in it. My son's been... I'm sorry, little Lee. Yeah, see, since Salty talked to him, he can explain this better than I can. I'm glad he wants to come up and explain it. But honestly, the only person I've ever seen receipts from is Kim. He was over there sprouting that one. That's what I'm saying, though. It's the same story over and over and over. Like, Jim, move on with your story. It's dead in the water. Stop repeating the same fucking story over and over and over on any panel that'll listen. It's lame. I'm sorry, but it is. I mean, okay, Kurt's a crossdresser. Who cares? We know that has nothing to do with this because of Brennan. There's much bigger things going on in this case. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. There's much bigger things going on in this case than who's a crossdresser. We can already scratch that off. It has nothing to do with the case. I think that's exactly what I think, Tommy. And I also think it's Occam's razor. The simplest answer is going to be the one that is. The story was his lips were red, not that he was in women's clothes. What do you mean? In an investigation, you have to look at all aspects of that missing person. Oh, I agree. But then you can narrow it down, though. You can kind of narrow it down a little. Kurt wearing lipstick has nothing to do with this. That's what I'm saying, McKevin. that came originally from Whistledown. I stated it last week. I then said it to Salty. Salty said I was onto something. Take a look at X, Y, and Z. I then transferred all that to Tyler. Kim did some amazing research on that. That's how all that came down. I'd be livid too if I was Dylan's mom. Salty, did you get the link? Price of elimination. Happened at the grain shed, maybe. Salty, did you not get the link? I'll post it again. It's others rehashing the same things. Exactly. Leaving town to go back to Idaho that weekend was an opportunity for whoever did something. We don't know. We don't know. Everything is based on somebody else's word. What we do know, there's nothing missing on him. Like that we do know. We do know that they found his shoes, allegedly. We know that he's missing. We know that they didn't find any blood. We know all that. We're there. We get that. That's all we know. Exactly, Rhino. Whistledown does do great. Whistledown is the one that originally came up with the water rights. And that's another thing. I don't try to take credit for someone else's work. I really don't. Like, I'll gladly say who gave it to me or who researched it for me. I don't have a problem with that. A lot of people won't do that. A lot of people take credit for someone else's work. I'll never do that. Exactly. We know what they want us to know. Teresa, that was my original theory from a week ago. And that was mine. That I absolutely believe that. And I haven't seen anything alter that. I still love you too, but did you get the link? I've now dropped it twice, Salty. You coming up or what? A lot of people have motive, Todd, because we don't know the whole story. Call Dan and ask him if Dylan worked his farm and was paid for it. Not rocket science, Laura. Yeah, that's true. I could. What's his number? Maybe it was really a meth lab, but we have no idea. I'm only in training YouTube. I love his ladies' minds. We bounce off each other. Absolutely. Thank you, Truth Serum. I'm out narcissist rats. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Applications reasonably feasible amounts larger than single family, domestic supply, irrigation. His bar business is definitely sketchy. No doubt about that. Hey, Lib. Don't work. Quit. Pay $5 a gallon. Everyone is still a suspect unless FBI says otherwise. Absolutely. But FBI also said, all right, how's this one for size? FBI said that Jim Brenner is not part of Dylan's disappearance. So why is everybody blaming Jim Brenner? Salty, are you taking a link or what? FBI is yet to produce a suspect. Correct. They just made James. Who made James Brenner a suspect? The FBI did? Where was this? Jim Aquarius was named a suspect. Okay. On just Brenner is okay. like I said, I haven't even looked at YouTube in a couple of days. They have not named a suspect. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get anywhere. I've been telling you this for 2 hours. It doesn't. Hold on. Okay, there's nothing on Google that says he is. Just saying. I'm not saying Google is like, so dead on, but there's nothing here. Do you know who the creator is, Carla? Is it Crime Time Address? And I'm not saying he's not. All right. Okay. These are the 5 pages filed against Jim Brenner on June 6th. What? Okay, let me repeat this. These are the 5 pages filed against James from June 6th. We're now July 6th. Did she say that wrong? Or is this from a month ago? I'm confused. I'll show you guys, but I'm a little confused. Did she mess up the date? Hey, Kim, there's my girl. Did she mean July 6th and not June 6th? All right. United States moves for detention based on current information. The United States positions in this preliminary pleading could change the review for pretrial. The United States reserves the right to assert positions even on the boxes next to those positions, blah, blah, blah. A crime of violence, sex trafficking of children, or an offense under specific, those aren't checked. What is checked, any felony that is not otherwise a crime of violence but involves a minor victim, the possession or use of a firearm or destructive device, okay, a serious risk to the defendant, or obstruct or attempt to obstruct justice, or threaten, injure, intimidate, attempt to threaten, injure, or intimidate a prospective witness. Defendant may seek a continuance of the detention hearing of up to 5 days, and the U.S. may seek a continuance of up to 3 days, blah, blah, blah. The United States has a burden of proof, persuasion by clear and convincing evidence that no condition of the combination of blah, blah, blah. None of these are checked. None of these matter. All right, Salty, hang on. None of these matter because none of them are checked. The nature and seriousness of danger to any person or this community that would be posed by the defendant's release, how the defendant proposed residence, employment, or proposed treatment programs have not been verified. The victims in this matter seek a no contact order. Okay, so please tell me where this is. Okay, here we go. The defendant was squatting on property belonging to SH and RI that is adjacent to DR. DR was reported missing on May 30th, 2022, and his whereabouts are unknown. The defendant is known to have contact with DR and is a suspect in DR's disappearance. A search warrant was executed on the defendant's trailer, revealing black powder firearms equipment. DH was interviewed by FBI and admitted that the defendant asked him to hold black powder firearms and a .22 caliber Winchester rifle. The defendant hand delivered the rifles to DH and asked him to hold them for him. The weight of the evidence against the defendant, is strong and should be weighed heavily against him. Eyewitness identification establishes that the defendant moved the firearms and the .22 caliber after being questioned after the disappearance, blah, blah, blah. History and characteristics of the defendant, including the defendant's character, physical and mental condition, family ties, employment, financial, blah, blah, blah. Defendant has a significant criminal history, including malicious wounding, malicious shooting, and 3 convictions for felon in possession of firearms. I don't understand why this isn't an order. Defendant was previously residing in Illinois, where his convictions rest. Defendant has no work history and is currently employed and has no verifiable blah, blah, blah. I don't know why this isn't an order, though. It's very odd. This is not an order. I don't know. I find it odd. It's not in order. Where did he go? And it's cut. I don't know. I just find it odd. It's not in order. Why does she have that last page cut out? Victim notification. Yeah, she has a day wrong. This was dated July 5th. This matter does not involve a victim requiring notification. Yeah, she just has this thrown in. I don't know. It's weird. Thank you, Donnie. She read aloud. It is odd. I don't know why she threw that last page in. It's just weird. No, it doesn't. But I mean, here's where it ends. But she cuts out some. I don't know why. Like, you can't even tap it. But most of these don't even apply. Most of them aren't checked. Hey, K-Rocks. Which did a gunpowder residue test on all the arrests? Really, Butch? You are joking, right? Because someone reported he gave up the black powder gun and later gave them the .22. Where'd he go? These are valid, Laura. Can you tell I cannot really see the screen? Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt they're valid. I just don't know why that last one was like thrown in. Like, I would like to see the whole thing. I don't know why she cut it. Because usually, like, you can click on it and it would open up and then you could see it. And you can't see anything. Yeah, he disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. I'm getting off soon, though. Oh, there he is. Salty. Salty. Oh, Salty. Salty, you have no sound. Salty. He's there. His internet's not. He is on. His volume's not working. Why did Justin try to run over Candace years ago? I couldn't tell you that. Don't know.
Salt, do you want me to call you? Would that make it easier?
Oh my gosh, I'm sitting here trying to use this and it's not even working right.
What's happening? Why isn't
What's
it?
happening?
Are you using a headset? Because sometimes that makes a
I
difference.
did, but I think it's got to shorten the headphones. I should start asking for some PayPal donations to buy a new set, but
Well, I'm live. People can hear you.
yeah, how is everyone? It's a salty channel today.
I hear you. All right, so tell me what's going on. What were you trying to clear up?
I wasn't trying to clear anything up. I was just answering some comments in there, and it was just kind of going crazy with. Whoa. Get that fixed.
Maybe.
People have a lot of suspicion about where this money came from, this check, and that's what I was just trying to clear up, and they really don't understand where it came from. But let me clear that up real quick.
Okay.
Dylan was hired by a guy named Dan.
Allegedly.
No, it's not allegedly, it's fact. And he did work out there for Gamble, something to do with Gamble Ranch and another big farm. These are huge farms. Dylan was excited. It was his first contracted job, but he needed money for materials. Okay, so he has to go to Grandpa. He has to borrow this money, and materials are expensive. So you got to understand how this all plays out. Dylan does the job. Took him about a week. He's there day, night, busting his ass. Goes back to the bar because that's where Dan wanted to meet him. We're doing the echo thing again.
Try disconnecting your headset.
It's disconnected.
Oh, and it's still not working?
No, still hearing that echo. Anywho. So Dan needs to meet up with Dylan. Okay, Dylan is waiting at the bar. It's the only place to wait for anybody, really. And Dylan meets Dan there. Dan arrives, but there's other people at this bar too. Don't think it's just Kurt sitting there or whoever. There's other people who knew about this, that Dylan was doing this job. Dylan meets Dan at the bar. Dan gives him this check. Dylan gets the check. He races back to Idaho. He gives the check to Grandpa. Dylan comes back with some seed, or was on his way back with some more seed. But that's where this whole situation, where this check came from. He didn't have a check that was just given to him. He worked for it, and he was excited about it because it was his first contracted job. The problem is Dylan kind of had that ego of, now look at me, and then people caught on to that, so they knew he had this money coming. When Dylan came back, I believe a couple of days later, or whenever he came back, that's when I feel like Dylan was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they ambushed him. And here's how this story comes into play too, is because Robert Evelius gave chase right out there. The only other person on that farm who was even living on that farm, and it wasn't where the grain truck and the grain shed was at, is not Dylan's farm. This is a leased farm that Dylan was using. But the person who also lived on that farm was Jim Brenner, or this guy, this they call a squatter. I don't know. So how he plays a role into all this, I still don't know. But I do know that Robert Evelius gave chase right out there. And that's how this whole suspect thing came between those guys.
Brennan is known for meth and drugs. And guns, right?
Jim?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's known for. I know Chase was out there breaking into houses and stealing guns. But as far as Jim, I don't know anything more than he was squatting on the farm.
But how is he squatting if he owns a piece of it?
Well, when you live somewhere, is that squatting? Is that your permanent resident, or are you just stuck up in a trailer?
Yeah, but squatting means that you don't own it. If Jim owns a piece of it, then it's not squatting.
Where did the whole rumor come from, this squatter, about a squatter living there?
I think the FBI.
The FBI? Well, then I would probably believe what the FBI says.
Or maybe Jim, I don't know. But he wasn't squatting if he owned a piece of it.
I don't think he owned that land. That was leased from somebody else, a neighbor of that land.
Salty joined.
Okay. Jim Brenner used to work for Dylan, and he was fired a few weeks before Dylan disappeared. Still not working.
Well, what did you say?
Someone said that James Brenner used to work for Dylan, and he was fired a few weeks before Dylan disappeared.
No, I don't know anything about being fired.
Yeah, I don't know either.
People have this weird impression like Dylan was running a business and he had all these multiple employees, and no, he was just, if Dylan needed help that day or someone needed some extra cash, Dylan would give them that hand or offer an opportunity to make that cash. It wasn't like an everyday thing where he had all these employees.
All right, so here's my other question though. If he had all this stuff going on, me in Italy, if he had all this stuff where he could hire employees, then why was he so excited about working somewhere else?
Dylan wasn't running like an operation on his own farm. He just barely started working this farm. He still needed to get his pH and acidic levels in that soil correct. Dylan was doing work for other people. He had the equipment. Grandpa loaned him the equipment, and Dylan was working and basically like a subcontractor for other people around that area, as well as Kurt. These guys have the machines.
Okay, let me go one step further.
Sure.
You're saying that according to Kurt, Dylan gave him, sorry, my stomach, I'm starving, but Dylan gave other people jobs. So if Dylan gave other people jobs, why would he be so excited about doing another job when you just said that was his first contract job right before he disappeared?
The first big contract job, correct. Anybody's going to be excited if they land their first big contract job and it was worth $46 an acre.
But how did he pay other people for work?
Because he had to go to Grandpa to get these loans for the material and to pay for this overhead. As soon as he got paid for doing these jobs, he paid back that investment. And obviously paid for the hired hands that would help him at that time. Hell, he still owes Kurt some money for some jobs that he hired Kurt to go do. It's a small town, and this is how they all exchange work. The people that don't have work out there are usually the ones that are on the outskirts of Montana, that we hear about all this meth labs, who come into the town. There is no work in the town. It's not like there's a grocery store or a Maverick or a Starbucks. It's 2 bars and a gas station and a motel. The gas station and the motel is owned by the same people. The 2 bars are owned. I don't know if one of them is owned by Ellen, but Kurt and Troy both have those bars. So there is no work. So people would, anytime anybody would want to work, I'm sure they would go to the people who are getting the work.
Okay. And you two moderate, that's what I'm trying to get at. Because you just said he wasn't hiring people. He said if someone needed extra cash, Dylan would give them some work to do for a day here and there. Is helping around the land. He wasn't doing it daily. That's right.
It's not like a full-blown operation where, you have full-time employees and a payroll. It's not, that's a wild imagination. It was whenever there was a contract or some work that was brought up that needed extra hands, he would probably lend that offer to someone else who needed some work for that day. There's a lot of people who go out there and are hitting up people out there for work that don't have jobs. I don't know how to explain it. when there's no work out there and you see other people getting contracts or having the work, then that's where you're going to go. And then you're going to ask them, hey, do you have any day work for me? And in Dylan's case, it was either yes or no.
I don't know. I go back to, I think it's Occam's razor, but
And then they knew, okay, if you know about Gamble Ranch and how big these farms are,
Dylan has not been found.
Salty joined.
Nope. Not working. You guys hear my stomach? I am starving. Starving like Marvin. Gray, why are you being mean? I don't even see. Oh, there he is. Whoop. Dylan was eliminated as his now is farm. Thank you, Todd. There you go. Oh, shit, my phone died. Whoops. As you guys can see, my phone died. You guys hear my stomach? My God. Kim, what time is Tyler going on tonight? I do. I'm hungry. Sex trafficking also. I don't think he was sex trafficked. I really don't. I'm telling you guys, Occam's razor. This is going to be the easiest answer possible. Salty, my phone died. Like literally. I got to plug it in. 8:30 Eastern time. All right. So 7:30. So 2 hours. Hey, JT's mom. Hey, Dylan's okay. I just found out sewing. No, my phone died, Salty. Completely died. Like dead as a doornail. Phoenix, can you check the water?
When's your live ending?
What?
When are you getting off live?
In a minute.
You want to drive me?
No?
Why not?
Cause
It's hot out.
then I gotta pick you up.
Yeah.
I want to pick you up. Should I drive him to work even though it's 95 because it's 95 degrees? I love you too, Kim. And candle orders are getting done tonight, I promise. You got my word on that. Telling you, I totally agree. Money and drugs. Occam's razor is money and drugs. This is not some big conspiracy. This is money and drugs. Thank you, Lee. I believe this is all meth and surrounded around meth lab and guns and all that crap. I don't think it's any big secret. I know I should drive. It's 95. Drive the boy. I love it though. Dayton's on vacation. Got the whole house. It's a wonderful thing. So, but I gotta go because I gotta eat something before I pass out. Someone got a bad temper. Empathy, that's your opinion. I believe meth is involved. One way or another, meth and guns and land and money all ties together. The order that it's in, I don't know. How it's going, I don't know. But believe me, it all ties together. Mark my words. So on that note, I will see you guys later. I'll be over on Tyler's channel later. I want to thank you guys for all the super chats and PayPals and Cash Apps. And let's just find Dylan. Let's try to put everything together. And someone get me an interview with Kurt. That's all I ask. But not right now because my phone is dead. So I have to charge that first. And then I'm going to go swimming later in our brand new pool. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Again, hit that subscribe button. And if you don't like me, don't hit that subscribe button. Have a good night. Peace. Will you discuss Jody Sue? What is there to discuss? I called Jody Sue out ages ago. Nobody would listen to me. I don't know what there is to discuss. She's a liar. She's been proven liar. And she proved exactly what I said she was 6 months ago. A year ago. Not even 6 months ago, a year ago. But Clarissa, I will for you, but I don't know what there is to talk about. I heard it's crazy. He's in love with himself. Yeah, I agree, Tanya. I adore Tyler too. And Kim. Let's not forget Kim. So, all right. I will see you guys later. I got to eat some and then drive him to work. Peace. Yeah, I never believed Jody Sue. Ever. Nope. Think she's phony. Think she was an attention whore. I said she wanted her 15 minutes of fame a year ago. So it is what it is. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.